Dang, you didn't cry? Like, I cried so much over a guy that I kind of dated for 3 months.
I would want to take that time and really make sure, because like, you don't want marriage to end in a divorce, and you want to make sure that you know this person. At least that's how I feel.
Literally, my motto was, people with penises will always be there. That was my literal, like, thing. Hi guys, hello, and welcome to Tea Talk. One of these days, I'm gonna actually tell them what's up and what to do before we start recording. I kind of like the chaos though. Yeah. So, hi. Today we are not only sipping tea, but we're also going to talk. And we have.
I'm Amy Thompson.
I'm Caroline Tucker.
I'm Nikki Philippi.
And Madison Miller.
Oh, we're very excited. So we're gonna talk today about dating. And in the future, if you want to be in future Tea Talk episodes, all you have to do is use the hashtag Tea Talk and follow our social and be on the lookout for like all of our future topics. So we're gonna have a real deep, life-changing conversation today.
100%.
And we're gonna start with Madison. I guess we're just gonna dive right in. Madison's gonna start reading questions that you guys sent us.
All right, so the first question.
Wait, I never said what tea we're drinking.
You never did?
No, I didn't. We are drinking passion tea today. Have you tried this tea yet?
No, I probably should.
Take a little sip, Caroline.
Ooh.
Do you like,
I like
it? It doesn't. It's not gross to you.
No, it's good. I like it.
Okay, good.
I'm a big tea connoisseur, so
you're a fan, yeah.
I'm enjoying all the teas on here. Like,
No, I
I'm not a
know.
big tea drinker, and I'm like falling in love.
Same.
This is like my fourth one today.
Dude, no, I know.
But like a different tea.
I feel like I'm a little bit overly caffeinated. I'm starting to get a little jittery from all the tea. Caroline brought a tea with her, but she was like eating the tea leaves. She was like, there's tea leaves in my mouth. So we're gonna jump right in. And also, we're all in different phases. We have to say that. You've been married for...
I've been married for about 2 years, a little over, but mainly about 2 years, yeah.
I've been married for 8.5 years.
I'm 18. I just graduated high school. I've never had like a serious boyfriend, so yeah.
And I'm dating my boyfriend for almost 3 years. And we just moved in together.
Yeah, so we've got a diverse circle of people.
Yes.
All right, are you ready?
All right, so I'm gonna read the first question, and the first question is from @Olivia Monelli. I hope I said that right. She says, I'm 16 and have never had a boyfriend, not even my first kiss. I often feel very embarrassed about being so far behind my peers, as my best friend has already lost her virginity. Do guys just not like me? Am I doing something wrong?
I can definitely relate to this because I have never had like a serious boyfriend, and all of my friends have, and I've definitely felt pressured by them to get a boyfriend. But I think for me, I'm at a different place in my life than a lot of the boys who I went to school with, and it just never made sense to date them and like waste my time on immature boys. Because trust me, all boys in high school for the most part are super immature, so don't waste your time. Like, just wait. Honestly, like, you want to wait for the right person to come along. You never want to feel pressure to like rushed into things, because in the end you'll probably regret it. So,
Have you ever dated, period?
Not in high school, no. Honestly, no. Boys would come to me and I'm like, you need to swerve. Like,
boys will come to me and I tell them to swerve.
I'm like focused on other things than like that. So
okay, to be really blunt, I remember in high school I wouldn't really date at all.
Yeah.
And my motto was, people with penises will always be there. And that was my literal like thing.
That's
I was
so
like,
you.
I gotta it is so me.
16.
Amy has known me since I was like 6, and that's totally a 16-year-old me.
And I hear like the fights that my friend and her boyfriend get into, and I'm like, ew, like, why are you with him? Like, I would not deal with that.
It's distracting from what you're doing.
It's just like, I don't have time for that. And so
I was very different. I had my first boyfriend in the 6th grade, had to hide it from my dad. And then I've always had a boyfriend all throughout high school. I never was single. If I was like, had one boyfriend for like a year or two, and then I would probably start dating someone within like the next month or two.
You hid your relationship from your dad even though he was your volleyball buddy.
I know.
Oh, softball. I've only heard it like 6 times, messing the sport up.
I know, I was bad, but my parents were very strict. They wouldn't let me date till I was 16, but I always had boyfriends.
You hid it anyways.
I just hid it at school.
What about you, Amy?
I didn't have my first boyfriend or my first like real kiss until 16, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
And I was happy I waited too.
Yeah.
Because
I
felt
went
behind
16
as
too.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did feel behind, but then once it happened, I was like, oh, that's okay. That was nice. It was
You'd be surprised how many people are in the same situation as
Yeah.
you. It's so common to graduate high school like not having a boyfriend, being a virgin. It just seems like it, because everyone who's done it talks about it for the most part and like brags about it. And people who haven't are going to be like, oh, I'm a virgin, or I've never had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So
And I feel like media makes it feel like you watch stuff on TV and in movies and stuff like that, and they make it seem to like everyone's just got boyfriends and like, oh, the typical thing in high school is to date, and it's like, I don't know why that's considered what you should be doing or what's typical. Yeah, I didn't kiss anyone until I was 16 either. And actually, my first kiss was on, I feel like I've told this story before, but I'm just gonna tell it because none of you probably know this. My first kiss was actually when I was going to a callback audition for a soap opera.
Oh my God.
And I was so scared. I was like, I've never kissed anyone before. Like, am I really gonna do this? And I remember I had like a meltdown with my mom, so my mom's like, you really don't have to do this. Like, just, you know, don't go. And I was like, I have to do it. And so I did it. And I remember I was like, it felt like someone touching my arm. Like, I was like, this isn't a kiss. Like, this isn't what it is. And then it must have triggered something, because then like 2 weeks later I had my first real kiss on a trip to Florida. So, yeah, but I was 16. Yeah.
Scandals
That's it.
in Florida.
I was like, should I give more details? No, I'm not gonna give any more scandals in Florida. Yeah. Were you gonna say anything else? You looked like you were. You sounded like you were.
You always think that now. I'm just like very intrigued with hearing your guys' sides too, because I was very different, but I have to say that when I was younger, I did feel guilty about it, and I wish I would have waited till I was a little bit older. Because I did have boyfriends starting in 6th grade, you know, those little middle school ones where you hold hands and you're like,
Yeah.
And then I did have, like, I think my first kiss was playing Spin the Bottle in 8th grade, which is so young, right?
Oh.
Mine was Truth or Dare in 7th grade.
Yeah.
With
So your first kiss was Truth or Dare in 7th grade?
yeah, but it was like bye. Like,
Yeah. Did it feel like a kiss, or did it feel like what I said, where it was like a touch?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, I closed my eyes. I was like, get it over with.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah, it's
real.
different if it's not like with somebody that like you both
It
like.
is totally different. That's why the acting thing felt
Yeah.
like an arm touch. I was like, is this what a kiss is?
Yeah.
That's not your real first kiss.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
totally
And I was so panicked, and it wasn't even. Yeah.
No big deal.
Okay, I'm gonna read the second question. Let's open this up. Where did I send it? Okay, so, ooh, this is good. Oh, wait, last note to Olivia, I just wanna say one more thing. Don't feel weird. I feel like we probably hit that home a couple of times, but don't feel weird, and don't rush anything for what you think people want you to do or whatever. Don't feel
Exactly,
weird.
because you don't want to waste it on like the wrong guy. You always want him to be like the right guy. That way the situation, everything goes well afterwards.
Yeah, I agree. So this one's from @Lauren3Kate, and she says, is it alright for the girl to make the first move, or should they wait for the guy to? Love you, heart.
See, I'm different. I won't wait. If I like someone and I'm like, oh, you're cute, that's how I met my husband in Vegas.
Oh, really?
I saw him, well, when I first met him, I was kind of turned off, and then I totally forgot about him, and then I saw him again later on through the night, and I was like, God, this guy's kind of cute. And then throughout the whole night, his friend was actually hitting on me, and I was like looking at him, I was like, God, would you leave me alone? I want him.
Oh my God. We're Joel.
I know. And then I finally got next to Joel, and we were at a a bar, a club in Vegas, and sitting at the table, and I was just like, you know what, you're cute. Just he was talking to me, I was like, I'm just gonna kiss you.
Madison, you made a serious first move.
I know.
Yeah.
And then I ended up marrying him.
He's like, I love this woman. She's mine.
I also kind of started the pursuing process with my boyfriend.
You did? You met him in musical theater, right? So
but like sometimes boys just don't know.
Yeah.
Like they just don't know that you're interested. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I didn't have to do like all the first moves, but I definitely like started like the chatting and stuff like that. So I say go for it.
Because then they like kind of take this, take it from there. Because after that, Joel, he kept calling me and wanting to meet up because we lived so far away from each other.
He couldn't get enough of those luscious Madison Miller lips. He's like, give me
more.
more.
So I was like, okay. But they definitely do pursue once they see that interest first.
Yeah.
Totally.
I feel the same way as you guys, where like you could make the first move. I will say in my situation with Dan, he definitely pursued me. I did not know that he liked me. I thought he thought I was like one of the guys, and he just kept calling me and like booking for us to do things. And I remember my mom was like, he likes you. And I was like, no, he doesn't, Mom. He thinks of me as one of the guys. And she's like, no, he doesn't. He wouldn't be hanging out with you that much. I was like, Mom, trust me. He side hugs me. Or like the hugs where like you hug and you keep your hips away from me, the Christian hug. You know? I was like, he doesn't like me, Mom. Turned out he totally did. But that being said, even though our story didn't pan out like the way with like I was chasing him, I still totally think that it's like fine for the girl to make the first move.
Yeah.
I think it's weird when it's like, no, they can't make the first move. It's like,
And like confidence is attractive. Like people like
yes,
that. So,
yeah.
Definitely.
How do you guys feel about the girl proposing?
My mom proposed to my dad, basically.
I didn't know that.
Basically. So what happened was my parents dated for like 8 years, and my mom basically looked at my dad one day and she's like, when are you ever gonna propose to me? And he goes, oh, well, I kind of already told my mom we were getting married. So that's how my parents got married. Isn't that crazy?
So cute.
I know. My parents have a crazy story. I feel like I've exposed them all over the internet. And they're like, we didn't ask for any of this. Like,
they're fine.
Yeah, it's cute. Okay, Caroline, do you want to read the next question?
Yes, okay. So I am Beth G asks, getting over a bad breakup, will I ever be ready to date again? It's been 1.5 years.
You guys don't smell me when I'm from my arms. Anyways, that's hard.
We've all been there. Well, I don't know.
Heartbreaks are hard, but I was never one to really cry over anyone.
Really?
Yeah, I just like would be like, all right.
Full of the confidence.
I was just kind of like, you know, there's so many more fish in the sea. Like, why? Like, obviously, if it didn't work out, then maybe it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
So why spend your time like being upset about it? That's my take on it. I guess I'm just like
confidence.
My sister calls me kind of cold, and that's.
I mean, I guess you could look at it that way. I'm like, dang, you didn't cry. Like, I cried so much over a guy that I kind of dated for 3 months before Dan. Like, oh, dude, I came home from dance class in my leotard and tights. I'm not telling you. I came home from dance class. I didn't take off my leotard and tights for like 6 days. I just sat on the couch.
Oh,
and
you told me this the other day. I know who you're
I was just so depressed. I was like, I can't. My mom was bringing me food. I like didn't shower. I was like so. And I barely even officially date. I didn't even actually date this guy. Like we were never boyfriend girlfriend. I was just devastated. I was like, I opened up my heart to someone, and they stepped on it. Kind of. I had like. My dating history before Dan is real sketch. You can't hardly even call it dating because I never really had like a boyfriend.
Yeah, you had that one boyfriend that like lived elsewhere.
That was the Florida kiss. Yeah, that was Theo in Florida. He'll never see this, but if he does, whatever. It was him. Yes, I said I didn't want to go into all the details. Theo was my first kiss. He knows it. He's aware.
He knows it.
We follow each other on Instagram. It's
Sorry,
cool.
Theo.
Yeah, so he was like kind of, but like not really because he lived in another flipping country. Like we weren't together.
I remember like that was like a big deal for you.
Yeah,
that was like official.
But I feel like it was a big deal because we were all like 16 and we were like, wow, it's such a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
But like I was just talking to him on AIM.
Like exotic because he was like elsewhere.
Yes,
and his name was Theo.
I gotta go home and log on to AIM and talk to Theo. Like
that was my life.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
I miss that.
Yeah, I know. But breakups though. But seriously, like and I miss AIM too. The door closing. Yeah. You're like, no. You'll never know the days of Caroline. You'll never know the days of AIM.
I wasn't even old enough for MySpace.
Oh, what a loss.
Caroline's the baby in the group today. I realized that when we were filming outside at the barbecue, I was like, wow, Caroline, she really is the baby in the group right now.
I know to see everyone with like wedding rings.
Yeah, I know. You're a mature little soul though. Like you blend right in. Okay, so heartache though. Okay, so yeah, I get depressed. You turn cold like stone.
Yeah.
I also get depressed. I've had like a couple, 2 maybe like really bad heartaches, breaks, whatever.
I have to say, like, the best way to get over it, though, is just to really think about it that way, that if it didn't work out, then it means it's not meant to be.
But that doesn't pull me out of it.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, I interrupted your train of thought, but it just made, I just cried for like 6 days.
Yeah.
But go on, sorry.
But that's like my way just kind of like to kind of handle it better in a sense is just like to think like, you know, wait, there's probably someone else out there, you know, that's probably better for me, that is meant to be. Because I feel like you should never go looking for relationships, that just let it fall and they'll come out of nowhere. Dan fell into my lap after that guy. Like he just like showed up into my life.
It's like when you stop looking and then they find you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Great. How did you handle probably your worst or most upsetting breakup?
Not well.
Yeah? Like why? Like did you just
like depressed?
Like drawing all the shades, eating all the food, sleeping all the time, watching all the Netflix.
Literally depressed.
How old were you when it happened?
22. So yeah.
Isn't it weird how everything I just described about being depressed also sounds similar to when you're also celebrating and really happy? Watching Netflix, eating food, drawing the shades.
It's both sides of the extreme.
It is both sides of the extreme. How did you process through it? Like, did time just heal it?
Yes, and I was gonna say that. I think it's so annoying when people say that, but it's so true that time heals all wounds. Like, it's like eventually you just, like, you all have like the breakthrough point when you're like getting over it. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm over this, and then you're ready to move on.
Also going out with like girlfriends, that tends to help, like
friends in general,
yeah, just hanging out and keeping your mind off it. I think that's the biggest thing, is don't let yourself like get secluded and go and sit in your room. Always be doing something to keep your mind off of it.
Yeah.
Don't stew in your own sweat on the couch with your ballet leotard.
Because I think then you're gonna dwell on it even more. So that's
what
my
I did.
biggest thing.
You couldn't pay me to stay in a leotard for 3 days.
I was like,
is coming.
I was like, someone like stabbed me in my heart. I was like, what? This so horrible. It was really bad. Wait, there was something I was going to say to that. Dang it, it's gone. Oh, time. No, that was it. You were saying time. My aunt, I remember when that went down and I called her, she was like, honey, literally, it's not even gonna hurt you after a while. Like, you're gonna be able to think about it and not be upset. And I actually remember where I was on the phone with her when she said it, and I was like, that is crap. I am always gonna be upset by this. Like, I can't even imagine thinking about this and not getting upset. Just the way it all went down. And it's so weird because she is right. As of like years ago, I was able to talk about it, think about it, whatever, and I was like, wow, there's zero emotion towards him, towards the situation, like everything. So time, like, it sucks because you can't just make it happen unless you're Madison Miller. But time really does heal everything, you know? And you've never had a heartbreak, right? That's good.
Hopefully you never will.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that would be cool if you just met the right person and that was it.
Yeah, I think that's maybe why I'm waiting. Because I'm like, I don't want to like waste my time and get like involved, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, let's protect your little heart.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to read the next question?
Oh, me. Okay, so for our last two questions, it says, how long do you think you can date before considering marriage, and how long before moving in with a boyfriend?
We gotta give it SO. Who are those people?
Oh, so sorry. Converse Kid and Karen Montalvo. So sorry if that's not.
Okay, so I'm curious, just because I really want to like bring more out of you. Do you have an opinion on any of these things? Have you thought about that when you're
Yeah, about like dating before marriage. I kind of take a lot of times like open up to people, and like I would want to take that time and really make sure, because like you don't want marriage to end in a divorce, and you want to make sure that you know this person. At least that's how I feel. So I would definitely want to be dating them for, I don't even know, like maybe a year. I think it depends on like age too. Maybe if you're a little bit younger, date the person for a bit longer because you're still growing up. You can change. Like if I was dating someone right now, I mean, I wouldn't wait a year and then be like, oh, let's get married, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it depends on age too, and really just personal feelings, because everyone's different. Every relationship is different. So it's really a personal thing, but just make sure that you really know this person, because you don't want to get married and then just figure out all the stuff that you didn't know about them.
I just really like, on a side note, I just really like how focused of a person that you are. I feel like a lot of girls at your age find their identity like in their relationships, or they're rushing to marriage, or they're rushing to a boyfriend because they think that that's what's going to make them happy. And what I really like about you is you're just really focused. You really dive into what you do.
Very independent.
Very
I'm independent.
Yeah, and you're like a really good role model.
Well,
you know,
you.
and you're like a happy person and you dive into it. On a side, I just wanted to say that. It's really
Thank you.
cool.
But
yeah, no, I agree with you though. Like, just taking time to think. I don't even know where my thought was going. I just wanted to compliment you. Thoughts, anyone else?
My thing is like for me, when it comes down to marriage and moving in with someone, I have to say that there's some people that would be against it, but I say move in with the person before you marry them, because you never know what you're going to expect. And I dated a guy for 3 years in college, and we lived together and literally lasted for probably 2-3 months after that. Could not handle him. Could not handle it. I was like, you're too messy for me. It's not going to work. I called my parents. I was like, I can't do this. I'm done.
We're done.
And then I picked up and left. And then I met Joel a month later.
And then you were good. And your cleanliness patterns matched really well. I learned that yesterday.
Because we dated for probably 3 years or so, 3 more years before we moved in with each other, because we were still in college. And then we lived together for a year, and we made sure, okay, are we compatible with one another? Can we live with one another? Are we fighting? We never fought. Nothing. Everything was like perfect, and everything stayed the same, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So that was like kind of a sign. Then we also made sure every duck is in a row. Like we got our careers going, we're moving forward, and then you popped the question.
How long did you guys live together and date before you got married?
We lived together for 1 year before we got engaged.
Okay. So you had been dating previously for
about 3. I want to say 3 years.
Oh, I forget that you guys have been together for that long. So you dated for 3 years, lived together for a year, then got engaged, and then got married like...
And then we got married about, I want to say, we had a very short engagement. I think it was probably like maybe 6-7 months because of his racing schedule.
Gotcha.
Because it was so hard to plan. The only opening was March.
Yes, you're like, time to get married. We're good hips.
I was like, give me 1 more year. But no, I only had 1 opening.
Yeah. And then you guys have been living together for...
Yeah, I feel like we just moved in together, but that was in November, so how many months ago was that?
December, January, February, March, April,
like
May,
8?
June. 7 months almost.
7 months? How long have you guys been together before you moved in?
In September it'll be 3 years, so like 2.5-ish years. Yeah.
Bradley.
Yes.
And it's going like very well. The only thing we ever argue over is the trash, and that's not even that big of a deal.
Gotta love that trash.
And it's really just because I
responsibility.
feel like it's the boy's job to take out the trash.
I know you.
Oh, dude, Dan and I divvy up all household responsibilities by like dirty level. It's like you handle the dishes because it's dirty. You handle the trash because it's dirty. I do things like laundry.
Yeah,
and,
I do the laundry. You take out the trash.
The not as disgusting things.
Yeah.
Dan and I did not. We had kind of a weird situation. We didn't live together. We dated for about 11 months before, and we didn't live together. I have to preface it. It was kind of like a religious thing for us.
Yeah.
We were like, all right, you've probably
And
heard.
you were younger too.
Yeah, and we were younger. And now I have to say, I always just say it as like, okay, this is my story. But like, my parents moved in together on like their first date. But we were like, okay, we want to wait. We also had never had sex before we got married, so everything was like. When we got married, it was all brand new. It was like, wow, we're sleeping together. Yeah, we were both virgins.
What?
Yeah, so we were each other's first. We were living together for the first time. Like, everything was brand new.
Wow.
And in some ways, our first year was really hard, but every single married couple that I've talked to, it's interesting, my parents included, because they lived together, moved in on their first date, lived together for 8 years, and my mom was like, it is the craziest thing. Our first year of marriage was still our hardest year ever, even though we had all of that like lead up time where we were together and basically mimicking marriage in a lot of ways. She's like, it's really weird. I don't know what happened, but it just was. But yeah, so we didn't live together. We hadn't done anything together. And then we got together and got married. I don't remember what the original question was though. How do you feel about it?
Yeah. Or how long? No, it was how long do you wait for both marriage and for moving in? How long?
I think it's an individual thing because just like with moving in together, I still feel like it depending for me and certain people, like it's a good idea to wait. It depends what statistics you want to read. Like my parents are still together 40 years later and they moved in together their first night. But we made our decision based off religion, statistics, all of that. But I think every person is different and has to do what's right for them.
And also it's like the compatibility.
Yeah.
I think it's just like when. Like,
exactly.
I don't know, like we didn't plan on it, it just kind of
if you just
happened.
mesh well, like I think that's the biggest thing. Like I mean, there's some couples that I feel like they fight a lot and they think that if we live together it's gonna make things better. And then they're like, we get
people do
married.
that with babies too.
Yeah, you don't
have a baby, everything's gonna be
to
great.
And it's like actually,
that is not a way to solve something.
Exactly, babies actually bring down marriage satisfaction. So I did a family marriage class in college, and it showed how much it goes down.
Because it's just a new challenge.
Yeah, and so that's why they always say before you have kids, always make sure your marriage is as strong as it can be because it's really going to challenge you.
Yeah, it's like
it's finances
a task
and everything.
Yeah, that's difficult. Caroline, I feel like we've been blabbering your little ear off.
No, I just like listening. It's like good insight.
Oh, good. We're downloading onto your brain.
Yeah,
pretty much. You're just gonna wait and see. You haven't like, you're not one of those people that's like, I want to date for this long before we get engaged.
Yeah,
you're just gonna play it all.
Yeah, because it's all gonna be new when I do it. So
yeah,
just wait and see.
It's good not to plan. I like it.
I know. Should we answer one more quick question, turbo speed? Oh, everyone's shaking their heads on the camera. We're gonna go now. Guys, that is it. Yes. So thank you for sending us your questions. We will see you next week for Tea Talk. Check out everyone's channels down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And we will see you soon next week with more tea and more talking.
Yes.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.